So, going to do another review here, kind of weekend review, if you would, of AEW Monday night. Sorry, AEW and WWE. And I brought out the Hogan title, which I know, Hogan right now is very controversial. I'm gonna go and I forgot to talk a little bit at the end of this video. I don't know how long exactly the video is gonna be, but just kind of thought I'd give kind of my review of WWE and AEW. Just talk about some stuff that's kind of going on, and I don't know. I kind of like the see what's going on in the wrestling world. Got my phone. God, I can't see my phone. One of these ads that pop up on here, like, no, I don't want any kind of, don't want to buy nothing. But kind of thought too, you know what? I said this is going to be a review of the weekend, and but I'm kind of tired. I've been getting over this cold still, and I'm still not quite over it. It sucks having asthma and a cold. I get like these are, kind of extending colds. But I probably should have done this before I, started making the video. But like I said, I'm just making the video because I want to make a video. And kind of want to talk about one of my websites here. I'll say that, so, figure we talk about, Collision SmackDown a little bit, and Raw WWE, but also just news, generally speaking, news. I did think in WWE, one of the biggest things was that, let's see, I forget his name, but he went on Stark, I think was his name there in AEW. And it's like, is it Tony Saint? Is that what he's going with? But he debuted in NXT. And NXT has been doing some crazy stuff. He actually debuted like 2 weeks ago, I think. And he was on NXT, signed his contract. I think he's going to do really good in WWE. It'll be interesting to see how they use him. I mean, I always think WWE, it's kind of one of those. They bring guys in to see how their reaction is. He got a good reaction, but now it's going to be like, does that reaction keep going? If it does, they'll push him. WWE will absolutely push him, and they will make this, he'll get a big push. If they don't, if the crowd doesn't react, WWE tends to, either push him down to like the B card, or try to kind of they really want to use them. They will then change them up to be to try to get them over. But I don't think he is going to need that. I think he is somebody that, the crowd seem to really get into, and really push. So that's cool. Raw and SmackDown, it was nothing really crazy that comes off the top of my head for this week. I didn't think it was good shows overall, but nothing really stood out. I just think that, they're doing stuff again. That's where Jordan Grace, I think that they kept her name in WWE there. She's officially with NXT as well. I think that's a big thing. They had a match. She was in a six-woman tag match. And I think that's great. Jordan Grace, she scares me. I ain't gonna lie. She's one of those women that I see and I go, yeah, she scares the crap out of me. But yeah, she's yeah. I mean, but she's a powerhouse. They did another TNA. Actually, a couple guys from TNA showed up in NXT. Moose, the X Division champion, showed up. Kind of challenged, the NXT champion, who I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But they're teasing that. that match. And then he showed up in NXT. The Hardy Boys also are going to be doing, apparently, the Hardys are the TNA tag champs. They're going to be doing a match with guys in NXT, who, again, I can't remember who it is in NXT, but it's really teasing something. And I said I think, and the rumors seem, I think WrestleMania, there's going to be a lot of TNA guys there. I think they got to have some kind of deal that I think they're going to, have TNA matches, TNA titles. I think are going to be defended at WrestleMania, which is fine. I like the cross promotion. I'm really hoping. I don't think it'll happen, but it'd be really cool to see AEW get involved with this. I think if you could do that. That would be amazing. And my getting a phone call. I'm going to. Just send a message real quick to. Okay. So, but yeah, it's really interesting. Now, I kind of wanted to talk about AEW more, to be honest with you, because I think AEW, I've always said AEW doesn't tell stories as well, and I still think they can move on that. The division, now the men's division is the men's division, and they're concentrating heavy on Adam Copeland and Moxley and that whole, that's a big storyline. You got MJF and kind of the Hangman Adam Page. Chris Danielson is in there. They're heavily on that. But they got some characters now that are really coming through, and I like it. But the division that's really just killing it, I think, in AEW is the women's division. They have some women's division. And the other thing with AEW, and I want to make this clear, they do very heavily in the international wrestlers, especially with the Mexican wrestlers, and like New Japan Pro and AAA Mexico division. They work heavily with them, and that's fine. I have no issue with that. But I've always said, like, yes, the wrestling is amazing, but that's where the storylines just fall apart for me because they don't tell them well. They just kind of throw them in the match, and the matches are amazing. They have some, where my camera is actually above my monitor. So I have AEW playing right now. I'm kind of watching it, and I'm not looking up at the monitor, so I apologize that it looks like I'm not looking at the monitor because I'm not. But it is, their matches are amazing. Like, I'm watching these two guys, and they're doing amazing stuff. But I couldn't really tell you like where the storyline is with them. So that's what I think. Now, there's two women right now in AEW that are just absolutely destroying it for me in a good way. The storyline between Timeless Tony Storm, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head, the other girl. But they've been doing it for the AEW Women's Championship. They've been having this storyline. And I love Tony Storm, Timeless Tony Storm. WWE is watching that going, why didn't we think of that? Or if she pitched that to WWE and they said no, that was a mistake. She is such an amazing character. I love the character. I love how she plays it. And the thing she has going on right now is just great. The other person in that is doing amazing. I really hope they push her. And they did do a title match with her in Money Monet, or whatever she's calling herself, is former Sasha Banks in WWE, which again, I am pissed because I think, it's basically the same character, just with a different name. The CEO, the CEO character is the boss. Just, it's stupid. Like, come up with a different character. You couldn't do anything different. Here's the same character. That's why you're not, I just feel like it's a very boring, I wish she wasn't the champion. I think there's other women in the division that they should push, and that's a problem. That still is a problem I have with AEW, is that they still like to be, they're pushing heavy former WWE guys to be the top of their people. If you look at their champions in that division, for the most part, they were former WWE guys. It just kind of, I don't know. I wish it was something a little different. I wish the titles were on different people. Because they are just seem to be going like, put it on a former WWE guy and guy or girl, and that's what we're gonna do. So I'm not a big fan of it. The Moxley thing, that Moxley. Now the problem with the storyline I have with the Moxley and Adam Cole kind of storyline right now, and you got Sling Blade in there. My issue with that storyline is that Moxley does the same thing. That group does the same thing. They basically come in and they attack someone, right? And as soon as they get attacked, they go running off. And it's kind of like the thing where I kind of feel like the NWO here, right? Where the NWO, they're not the NWO in that the NWO just kept collecting basically wrestlers and got bigger and bigger and bigger to a point where it was like, no one ever stopped the NWO. The NWO never had that real threat, because every time a threat was with the NWO, they just went through them. They're not like that, but it's quite annoying that they seem to run from the fight, and I don't know. The briefcase too, like they had the title in the briefcase. Okay, that's fine, but like they did a promo where he was like, people don't deserve to see this title. And I'm just like, yeah, it's stupid. The briefcase is way too small. The title's not even in there. It's just like, come on. Anyways, going back to what I was saying. So there's this Harley Quinn. I feel like I'm saying that because, it's like Harley Quinn, but that's Batman. Okay, this match is like cool, but I need to get to... Yeah, okay, here we go. This is who I wanted to see. Harley Cameron. I love Harley Cameron. One, yeah, obviously she looks great. But she kind of has this character that's kind of like this. She's like not psycho or anything. She's just off a rocker. But she's like funny as hell on the mic. She can sing. She can be a ventriloquist. She does this puppet thing. She is funny. She is getting a push right now, and I'm happy to see they're pushing her. I hope that they push her to a championship. She is somebody that if I was writing this, okay, if I was in charge, if I was writing the story, she would be holding a title right now at this company. She is someone I would have on TV. If Collision is her show, she would be on Collision every week. She would be part of main storylines. I don't got a cut there. Okay, she's my cut that I've had. She would be somebody that would be absolutely going forward like a main part, if not maybe the biggest part of my women's division. She just has that ability. A lot of, when you watch AEW, other than their pay-per-views, their main shows, their TV shows are not big crowds. Now, granted, this could be also designed. It does look like that, lately, what they show on TV seem to be smaller arenas, or they have just very darked out, like, they're using maybe half of the arena, which, is fine. It's though, but, you got to think about how are you going to get, if you want that crowd to be the WWE crowd, if you want that to be, what they have there, then you got to start putting your money on people that aren't just WWE, not leftovers, but WWE, former WWE superstars. You got to start building on people. She is somebody I would build on. Absolutely. Her character is great. She gets big reaction. She is funny. She's hilarious. She pushes the edge, which I like. She'd be someone I'd push. I'm actually going to let this play because I think she is absolutely hilarious. And she gets a great ovation. I just think she's great. So, that's kind of where I feel like right now. Again, this weekend wasn't bad. Overall, the wrestling was good. I think AEW made a big step forward this week. I think they're getting their storylines there. Push the right people. Do a better job, though, on how you tell it, backstage segment versus in ring versus promo. I think you're good. Now, actually, I am going to pause because I really want to hear what she says, and I can't do this and watch that. So, the last thing I was going to talk about was the title. So Hogan's always been, and this is obviously, so last WrestleMania, Hogan came out. And before that, and I really don't want to turn this political, so please understand this is in no way a political rant or how I believe politically. It's just what happened. He put his support towards Donald Trump. And that's fine. You support whoever you want to support. I'm not going to judge you for any of that. But, he put his support towards Donald Trump, controversial figure. And people were kind of surprised by that. Some people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it, actually. Excuse me for a moment while I take a sip of water. Again, Circle. They do not sponsor me at all. Obviously, I don't, but Circle, if you see this and you would like to sponsor me, and I will be drinking this delicious water flavored water. Although I drink mostly, it's at like zero because I just like the water. Occasionally, I do drink with the flavor. I'll shut up now and drink. Excuse me. So, as I was saying, Hogan came out, and he came out at WrestleMania. Kind of did the Hogan promo that he seems to do every couple of WrestleManias. And he got booed. Like, audibly booed. And some people were surprised by this. Some people were like, wow, Hogan got booed. I wasn't. Because I knew, it's kind of how people feel. Now, Hogan is by far, and excuse me one second. There we go. Hogan has always been, my favorite superstar. I grew up, I'm an 80s kid. That's when Hogan was huge. Hogan, Macho Man, Ric Flair, the Bulldog. It's like you go through all those guys. I mean, there's so many of them. Hogan, Undertaker. There's a little later in the 80s, but still, the Attitude Era. But Hogan, by far, was my first real, he's a guy, I saw him on TV, and I was like, oh, my God, he's a beast, and, he's a hero to me. So, I tell people, yes, Hogan is my favorite wrestler, because as a wrestler, I liked him. Now that I know where he stands politically, now that I know where he is of that, I probably wouldn't agree with him on a lot of things. But again, he was my wrestling hero. I grew up watching Hogan. That's why I have this belt. I love this belt. I think it's a gorgeous belt. And I will tell people, if somebody said to me, oh my God, you have Hogan's belt? I was like, yeah, I have Hogan's belt because I like Hogan. He was my hero. So I just thought that was, I couldn't make a quick segment on this. But I thought, people might see this belt and go, oh, he's a Hogan fan. That must mean no. I probably do not agree at all with him politically. But as a wrestler, that's what this is, he was one of my all-time favorites. And, he probably is still in there. He's still in there as one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Because I grew up as a Hogan fan, as a maniac. Wasn't a Hulk Hogan maniac? They called him, whatever. But that's what I grew up. That's what I love. So this is, this will always be in my collection. I'll always have this belt, and I love this belt. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard it. Wow, that was a loud one. Don't jump up because I got the belt in my hand. That would be, and don't you jump up here. So that's it, guys. That's gonna be it for this video. Good week for wrestling. AEW did a good job. AEW's doing a good job. WWE though still I think better. Good storylines. We didn't see much of Roman Reigns. We didn't see any of Roman Reigns this past SmackDown. He wasn't there. They seem to be pushing a Solo and I think it's Fatu. I think that's going to be a WrestleMania storyline. Obviously, the Elimination Chamber is filled up. They finished the Elimination Chamber. That should be good. We got the Kevin Owens and again, I think the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn storyline is going to be something just ridiculous. I think that's just going to be such a ridiculous match. It's going to be so good. I can't wait for that match. That by me, honestly, at the Elimination Chamber, that's the match I'm looking forward to the most. Because I just seen what they've done in the past on the independents. And if they're given, and it's an unsanctioned match, which, I mean, obviously, that's just storyline. But if they're really going to let them just kind of go all out and trust each other and do stuff that they've done in the indies, they're going to steal the show 100%. So, we'll see. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for me. One of my longer videos, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for everyone who's watching the videos. Thank you everyone who's, subscribed. I think it's cool. And I'll try to keep these videos going as much as I can. And if you see this video and you haven't seen me before and you like it, yeah, subscribe. Cool. I'd be very thankful for that. So other than that, guys, enjoy the week. And I'll probably try to get something up like midweek. And yeah, all right. Thank you, guys. Talk to you later. As always, peace.